Hey, welcome to the Celeste Caldwell Show. Today we'll be talking about critical race theory and ways we can combat it. So I'll begin by some people may not know what critical race theory is. Well, I'll let you know. It's an academic movement of civil rights scholars and activists in the U.S. who seek to critically examine the law as it intersects with issues of race and to challenge mainstream liberal approaches to racial justice. There you go.
And that's by the Wikipedia.
Yeah, that's Wikipedia's definition. So in this blurb that I found, like, what is it from Wikipedia? I wanted to know, like, well, who came up with this? Like, who are the civil rights scholars and activists in the United States who created this? So I have a list here, and it's just very interesting to me. So there's a gentleman named Derek Bell, and I found out he's a lawyer. Alan Freeman. I still haven't figured out who that guy is. It says he's an Australian DJ. So I have no idea why a DJ would be. I have the wrong Freeman. There's also a Kim Crenshaw. She is a UCLA lawyer. She was nominated for 12 awards and won just recently. So I wonder if these awards have to do with anything of producing this garbage. There's a Richard Delgado. He is also a legal scholar. He's from Alabama. So, Kim is from UCLA. And I'm not sure where Derek Bell is, but he's a lawyer also. Then there's a Patricia J. Williams. She's a legal scholar. There's also a Cheryl Harris. She's from UCLA. Isn't that funny? That's really ironic.
Yeah, like, both of them are.
Yeah. Charles Lawrence III. He's a professor of critical race theory in Hawaii. And Mary Matsuda is also a lawyer in Hawaii. But she's out of, like, she's in the University, I guess, of Richards in Hawaii. But anyway, it's really strange how these are all lawyers.
Yeah, it's like...
Or legal scholars.
And I also did some research, and I heard that some lawyers, called government lawyers, can basically interpret laws and legislation.
Yeah.
So I don't know what kind of lawyer they are. It didn't say in their Wikipedia or anything. So maybe they're a government lawyer, maybe they're not. But
they all have the same title of lawyer, so I don't know.
Yeah.
So anyway, I found something that was heavily on my mind since this has been being, like, talked about, and you hear about people going to their various school boards around the country and letting the school boards know that this is inappropriate.
This is happening, this is going on, and we need to stop it.
Exactly. So it jogged my memory. I remember about, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago, I saw this video. It was like a show on PBS. And the name of it is, let's see, what was the name of it? It might come clear to other people about what this movie was about. It was an interview with this teacher, and this teacher did an experiment in 1968. She came up with it like the day after Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was really heavy for a lot of people because he wasn't a criminal, or, you know, he didn't rob people. And
well, not like what's happening now.
Yeah. He was considered, like, the best guy, for wanting peace.
And still is today.
Yeah. So this teacher, she's from Iowa, and her name is Jane Elliott. She came up with all of the blue-eyed kids would go to the front of the room, and all of the brown-eyed kids would sit in the back. Yeah. And like a couple days, she would tell the kids that were sitting in the front of the class, the blue eyes, like how awesome they were, how well they were behaved, how just what good kids they were, how they minded their manners, yada yada yada. She told the brown-eyed kids, she put a collar on them also, the brown-eyed kids, in the back of the room. So not only were the brown-eyed sitting in the back of the room being shunned, they had to wear a collar.
That's insane. Like,
I know, right? I mean, now there would be like...
That would be like a crazy, over-the-top experiment.
It is. Nowadays, she would probably go to jail for doing that. But anyway, maybe not. But here we are. So, over the course of a couple days, she noticed... And they were third graders, too. She learned that the blue-eyed kids were kind of being meaner to the brown-eyed kids. And she noticed the more that she told the brown-eyed kids, like, you are not doing your schoolwork well.
Yeah, we're terrible.
You need to behave better.
Yeah.
Yada, yada, yada. They started to behave worse. And at one, she was like, they were really good kids before, and now they're turning into like heathens. So she switched it. She put the brown-eyed kids in the front of the room, and then she put the blue-eyed kids in the back of the room with the collars on, and did the same exact thing. They reacted the same way. Yeah, the brown-eyed kids started behaving better. Yeah, she like let the ones that were sitting in the front of the room that were the good kids got to go in the front of the lunch line. They got extra recess. And so anyway, she noticed a big difference in the behavior of these kids. And at the end of the experiment, not only did she experiment on these kids, she experimented after she
on
did
prisoners.
Yes.
On the prisoners. I remember that.
Yes, she experimented on prisoners. And you know what she found?
The same thing?
Yeah.
Wow.
They reacted the same way as the children. Very similar.
Wow.
So, as I'm looking this over, I'm like, this is exactly what they are doing with critical race theory in our schools today.
It's basically the same thing.
Yes. And our kids are not an experiment.
They're not. They're living human beings.
It's not even a curriculum. Critical race theory, this isn't even a curriculum. This has nothing to do with math, art,
science.
No. Maybe science in their eyes, it's a big joke. Like scientific experiment. But our kids are not to be reckoned with. No. You better not, So.
I'm an ankle biter.
You're an ankle biter?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I like to do?
What?
I can't even mention it. I'll probably go to jail, but. I'm a mama bear. You mess with my kids, and
she'll come after you.
I do. You've seen it.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
But that's what I love about my mom. She always protects me.
Yeah. You are your own best advocate, and if you can't advocate for yourself...
let's get it on back.
Okay, yeah. Okay. And so on to you. What do you got?
That is very insane.
Yeah, and for all those who want to look it up, there is a name that went with this lady, but you could also just look up, it's called A Class Divided, and you can look on it, Frontline PBS, I pulled this up on DuckDuckGo, but I'm sure if you just Google or whatever you
Bing
use, a class divided.
They just use
So,
Bing,
PBS.
Google.
Oh God, no Bing, but okay, and on to you.
Okay, so I wondered, like, what made them behave that way. Well, we know it was because of the discrimination, but, like, what in the discrimination made them do it that way? Because if the only big factor was the discrimination. And with the blue-eyed and the brown-eyed and the collars.
And also, though, the speaking points of telling the children, you are such a good child, you're going to want to behave better.
Or even, like, you're terrible, go back to the sewers where you belong.
Yeah.
Like, something like that.
And just the act that they don't get longer recess or whatever, the other kids see that, and they're going to, okay, yeah, it's your turn.
Well, anyways, thing I forgot what I was talking about.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah, maybe it's something psychological.
Yes.
So, you know, like something in their brain.
Psychological warfare.
It's psychological warfare.
Yeah.
You can talk about that later on.
But it's similar. This is something deep.
And, you know, the parents should research about this because even in my own school, where I used to go to, is now pushing for this critical race theory. So I'm glad I got out of there in time. So, yeah.
What did you find?
Well, I found out a lot of things about it. I did a lot of research, and you can check it out for yourself. There's a website called, let me find it, Center for America Renewing. And they made a list of top 10 worst critical race theory examples. And I only listed 2 here because it's a whole big lot of page. So, I'm just going to start with the first one here. So, Californian 3rd graders were made to deconstruct their racial identity and rank themselves by power and privilege. Which that is just absurd, really. That's just, why would you do that? And then here's the next one.
Also, when you think about it, what's it going to do the next year, the next year, the next year? They're going to just...
And even when they go to work, they're going to be taught that same thing.
It's insane.
It's just terrible.
And this is not helping. So I need those professors or those lawyers or whatever, and they think that this is a good thing.
Yeah, this is...
We need to find out the money. Follow the money. Because I don't think these people are like, oh, I get 12 awards and I'm just going to put this crap out. They're hoping everybody's asleep, but we're waking up.
Yeah, and as I was saying, parents should take a stand. Doesn't matter if you're a father or mother, you've got to go to your school board where your child goes to and just act up if they are teaching this monstrosity of a creation to your children.
It's ruining our kids.
It is ruining our kids, like I said, psychological warfare. Anyways, here's the next one by America Renewing, but the U.S. Sorry, my handwriting is not good. I can't read it. The U.S. Sandia Labs held a re-education camp only for white males, forcing them to write apology letters to people of color and women. The training material claims that white male culture include, and I quote, rugged individualism, a can-do attitude, hard work, and a strive for success. So if you have all of those things, then you're a racist. Sorry, that was a car all the way over there. But what are your thoughts on this? Like,
Isn't that how you get ahead, though? You have a good work ethic. You want to go to work. You have a can-do attitude. That's how you get further in life. That's how you make better money. That's how you make more money. And then the more that you have, in essence, it's telling us that that's bad. So they want us to have little.
They want us to have worse
Less.
of lives, and that's what they're pushing. And they're teaching that to kids and
adults.
And in this case, workplace, I think.
Do you have another one?
Oh no, this is the only.
This is very interesting. I could listen about this and talk about it for days, but our show's just trying to, get the word out, make it short and sweet.
I
do
still
some
have
research.
I still have a lot more.
Oh, by all means, go. So sorry.
So, yeah, no, you continue.
No, I was gonna end it, but I thought you only had 2 and you went through 2.
No, I have way more.
Okay.
Way more.
You go.
Okay.
There's so much to learn.
So, have you heard of a thing called 1619 Project?
No.
Oh, well, anyways, it was all big in the news back in the day, by the New York Times, and the 1619 Project was really changing American history.
I heard about, wanting to change our history, and I know that's a socialist, Marxist, idea to do that, but I had no idea it was a book.
I won't be surprised. I won't be surprised if our history is already changed. I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, they've changed our language. They were trying to change words around you. Freaking pronouns. I am not 20 anymore, and I am not going to use pronouns for people. If you're a male, you're a male. If you're a female, you're a female. And that's a whole nother show.
Yeah, that's another whole story.
They're changing everything. And
it's whatever good is bad, whatever up is down, whatever a dog, it's a cat now.
Oh yeah.
It's like, okay, I got an analogy. It's a balloon. Think of a balloon.
Mm-hmm.
And you just let it go, and it goes up, 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 and then it just pops.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically language. That's basically what's happening to our ability to speak.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. It's going away.
It's basically popping like a balloon.
It's horrible.
So, anyways, me go back to the 1619 Project.
Yes, we
do
it
was way back in the news in the day, and it was basically changing American history. It was teaching that America wasn't founded by the founding fathers or the Constitution, but by slaves that were brought to the American shores in the year 1619. And I found this really confusing, just why. And then I did a little more research, and then apparently the founding fathers were irrelevant. That was totally irrelevant, because the founding fathers only made the Constitution, Declaration of Independence because they wanted to keep their slaves. But in the Constitution it says all men are created equal. So yeah, what do you think about that?
Just like what you said before, up is down, down is up.
It's
a dog is a cat is a dog now.
Yeah.
This is the way it is now. I mean, It's like it's hard to put words for all of that other than it's a monstrosity. These people are monsters. And we need to get this
stopped right now.
Yeah, we do. There's so many things that are happening all at once. It's hard to just say, I want to tackle this topic, or we need so much help to tackle all of the problems.
We need to hold these school board members accountable for what they're doing, which is a very, very illegal. It is illegal, I'm telling you. This should be brought to an end. This is like a violation of the Civil Rights Act.
Yeah,
It teaches that race or ethnicity is the most important thing about you, which
Yeah.
I do not agree with whatsoever.
No, it's like,
I don't think it was even. I don't think that was even. I don't think even your ethnicity was the most important thing about you, even when slavery was existed.
President Biden made it very clear when he was nominated for president. He said that he would pick a black woman to be his vice president. Now, he didn't say, I want to pick the best person who has the most experience for this profession, for this role. I'm going to pick somebody who's black and a woman. So, really what that's telling everyone is that your race is a little more important than what you have to offer.
It's basically brainwashing. It's indoctrination, really. Yeah,
That's just an example.
So there is, like, way more I have to talk about. But let me go back to 1619 for you.
Yes.
So, as I was saying, according to 1619 Project, slavery still exists. And it doesn't, obviously. So, and it's basically, yeah, as I was saying, it's basically brainwashing. And they're putting against one person with another. So, either by gender, ethnicity, skin color, gender identity, sexual orientation, or even wealth status. If you're a rich, straight white male, then you're an oppressor.
Yeah, that's bad. You can't have a can-do attitude and make that money because you have white privilege.
Yeah.
For having a good attitude.
And I even watched this thing, as you've known, MTV has gone woke. And MTV posted this video a while ago about light skin privilege. So, white skin privilege is basically if you're black but have a lighter complexion, then you have light skin privilege. So even if you're still black, you still have privilege, according to them, which I've never heard before. I think MTV just made it up on the spot. I thought, yeah,
to get something out there.
Yeah, just get something out there, make some of that moolah.
Yeah, let's make some of that cash.
Yeah.
Let's brainwash those kids for cash.
So anyways, according to 1619, slavery still exists in America. Which obviously it doesn't. Because do you see black people working in the cotton fields with no wages? I don't think so. No, I don't.
There are, those attorneys or lawyers that I listed were black and Asian. I think there was a white one in there, but the majority of them were all like professors at universities. Like, if there was racism,
then why would they be lawyers at freaking university?
And we had a black president. Like, if there was truly racism, like our country was truly racist, we wouldn't vote for that.
No, we wouldn't.
We wouldn't have black architects, black doctors, black anything. We wouldn't have any of that.
No.
We wouldn't want them to get ahead. We wouldn't want them to have money. We would want to keep them under our thumb. We would want to oppress them. But I don't think that's the case here. I think that's not the case here.
So, yeah. And so that 1860s, slavery, Civil War, Emancipation Proclamation, yeah, that doesn't exist. Apparently, slavery still exists, but it doesn't. And it still says that black people are being oppressed today. And the New York Times also published children's books. And recently they came out saying that the 1619 Project was satire. But why then why would they make a children's book? In the American history section for children on Amazon. Why would that be satire? That didn't seem like satire when I read it.
Wow.
No. And trust me, I've read the thing. I've looked on their website and it's just mayhem. And you should check that out sometime.
I will.
So,
Well, I guess that's it. Are you pretty much done?
yeah, I think we've talked over pretty much
we
everything.
did. I think we talked everybody's ears off. We keep going and going. Thank you so much for listening. And we will have another topic in the next day or two.
Okay, see ya.
Bye.